Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha, Rakak, Wadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and the elders. Double honors to my elder as well, Aharwan Ben Yasha'Allah of the Lions Den Camp. And salutations to the fellow Akim, Atwafim and children that believe in truth and in sincerity. It's your brother Atanyala back to another lesson, and your Haratazah is edifying. Just a quick one, all right? Just want to dabble in on seeing how the lies of Esau, Edom, all right, of this devil, his deceit and his lies is coming to an end. All right, as the video that I had played before this is over there in Puerto Rico, them pretty much knocking down the statue, man, of a colonizer, all right, of Ponce de Leon, right? And just want to go into a little bit of who Ponce de Leon was, and I got some scriptures lined up pertaining to ultimately the times we in, man. You know, and how I want to start off in the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 18. All right, because it's written, man, the Lord warned us, and we see the signs to which it allude to, man. You know, and it's prophecy, and it's Luke 10 and 18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven, right? You know, and that means judgment from the Most High, from on high, is coming swift to this damn devil, man. All right, just last week you had the Theodore Roosevelt statue tore down and broke it down, you know, as well. All right, and the next week, all right, you have this statue being torn down, man, because the people are waking up, man. Matthew 24 and 14. It's the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come, right? And then shall the end come. So this gospel and this truth, ultimately, you know, because that's what it is, man. This the good news of the truth, all right, is being casted out through the four corners of the earth, and now the end is before us, man. The prophecy is kicking off and unfolding, man. Things are moving in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man, the holy angels, man. All right, and by way of the mouth of his prophets, man. You know, everything is going according to the Lord's will, man. You know, so Ponce de Leon being a damn colonizer, you know, and as we look up some of the history of Ponce de Leon, and we see why they have schools named after these people, you know, because they idolize and they look up to these people, man, like Alexander the Greek. You know, we was taught in their circle of history when you through grade school, he was Alexander the Great, all right, but he was one of the first ones to pillage and take over homelands, man. You know, and here you got Ponce de Leon along with Christopher Columbus, because he was one of his right-hand men, right? And we know who Christopher Columbus was, right? He was a colonizer. They even have a day that they try to stem away from pertaining to him on this side, right? That they try to no longer celebrate. But ultimately, they were colonizers, man, just as Alexander the Great. But this is Ponce de Leon and other Edomites, man, because that's ultimately who they are, man. They take lands and name them after their own names. Let's get that right quick. And it's Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They called their lands after their own names, right? You know, after rape, robbing, and pillaging for the land, they name it after themselves. Just like America is named after Americus Vespucci, or Africa, Leo Scipios Africanus, all right? Edomite, so-called white men, all right? Self-proclaimed white men. But back here in Wikipedia of Juan Ponce de Leon, right? The statue that they tore down in Puerto Rico, and just the irony of how the statue tore down and they just roped it off like it was a dead body, man. You know, it's just everything is spiritual when you look at it through a spiritual lens, you know, and then the statue pointing up, you know, ultimately pointing up at the Most High, man, because that's ultimately who put him down. you know. And hey, ultimately he's casting off all these lies, man, and the deceit that's been set up by this damn devil, man. You know, and this Juan Ponce de Leon, he was a Spanish explorer, right? You know, and what does Hispanic mean? All right, his of Spain. All right, the Northern Kingdom was conquered by the Spaniards, man. You know, that's why you also want to try the spirit by the spirit. All right, everybody who speaks Spanish is not necessarily of the Northern Kingdom. All right, they can be a Edomite, just like you got chocolate covered Edomites, right? Like Lenny Kravitz, Tracy Ellis Ross, all right, who may look like the typical Negro, the typical African American, but they're the nation of Edom. They're Esau. They're Caucasian, ultimately, by way of their father, man. Because you are what your father is, according to the scriptures. You are whatever the seed is, man. And your father carried the seed, the sperma. All right. And you see that a lot growing up in Miami, just the demographic, all right, quick testimonial. In Miami, a lot of the Cubans in Miami down there, a lot of them are Spaniards. You know, they're not really Northern Kingdom. They're more so Edomites that speak Spanish. All right. That's ultimately why we have to try the spirit by the spirit. All right. That's the book of 1 John. Let me get that right quick. It's 1 John 4:1. Beloved, Salakia, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because many false prophets are going out into the world, right? And this is basically speaking on the false prophets, man. You know how you want to try the spirit by the spirit if they're of Yahweh or if they're not of Yahweh, man. You know. This verse 2, hereby know ye that the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shai Hamashiach is come in the flesh is of Yahweh. And it's just how you trickle down a false prophet from a true prophet. Just as well as you try the spirit by the spirit from an individual. You know, you mark them with this word, the measuring stick, you know, the scriptures. All right. And if they can receive it, they very well may be of the nation of Israel. They can't receive it, they can be very well of a heathen, you know, or just a 2/3, all right, Israelite, but just a seared with a hot iron, all right. Verse 3, and every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shah Mashiach is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh, right? You know, so they don't believe that the Son of Man walked in the flesh, all right, was made lesser than the angels. They're not of, they're the Antichrist, ultimately, right? As there's many Antichrists. It's not just one particular person. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world, all right? But ultimately, you got to try the spirit by the spirit, all right? You know, mark them with the word, all right? Measure them up with the measuring stick, which is the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, whether they're of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, of not. Because at the end of the day, all right, the Lord got his tares and wheats growing together, all right? This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 24. And it reads, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. Right. You know, the poison and the deception and the lies of this damn devil, right? What he taught, what he cast out throughout the four corners of the earth. The scriptures say that the wine is raging, man. And strong drink is raging, man. You know, ultimately what this devil has put the bottle to his neighbor, all right, and cast it out through the four corners of the earth, all right, and this wine and this strong drink is raging, man, all right. And ultimately has it's poison, man, like that death adder, all right, that death adder that stoppeth of ear is poison to the people, man. So you got a wicked mingled amongst the righteous, just mingled amongst the unjust, all right. And ultimately, when it comes down to the way the Lord set things up, that don't mix, all right. So eventually the Lord is go pluck the righteous and separate the sheep from the goat, all right. And this is Matthew 13:28. And he said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together unto the harvest, right? So it's all the way unto the harvest, man. All right. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them up in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn, right? You know, to his wheat, to his elect, to his remnant that he's going to save from the said perils. He's going to tell them to come up hither, man. You know? So, ultimately, the Lord got the wheat and the tares growing together, you know, because it's all in his plan, right? But going back more so on the topic of Juan Ponce de Leon, you know, he was known for leading the first official European expedition to Florida, all right, and serving as the first governor of Puerto Rico, right? You know, first governor of Puerto Rico after it was colonized, right? You know, he was set up like they set up puppet masters and puppet rulers in nations today, right? After maybe killing the leader or killing the president, just like they did in Haiti, right? They did in different parts of Africa, right? Mainly South Africa, right? Taking over that region, all right? But now it's being brought back on their own head, man, you know? And what the so-called Puerto Ricans knew that they were the Taíno Indians, you know? And who was he in partnership with? Christopher Columbus, man. We go read a little bit more and get into it. He was born in Santavis de Campos, Valladolid, Spain in 1474. Though little is known about his family, he was of noble birth and served in the Spanish military from a young age. He first came to the Americas as a gentleman volunteer with Christopher Columbus' second expedition in 1493. Marquess Juan Ponce de Leon, right? So he was a Spaniard. By the early 1500s, Ponce de Leon was a top military official in the colonial government of Hispaniola. Right. So if you were Hispanic, you were his of Spain. All right. Showing that you were conquered by the Spaniards. Right. And this is all after post Northern Kingdom going into the captivity under the Syrians, right? I believe, Salakia if I'm wrong, and the Southern Kingdom going into the Babylonian captivity after the split of Northern and Southern Kingdom, all right? After the sons of Solomon, Jeroboam and Rehoboam. You know, so this is more the captivities, you know, leading up to where we at now today, man. You know, of coming to where they knocking down statues, man, because they're waking up to the cards that they dealt, you know, and ultimately and hopefully through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they're waking up to the realization that we're one and the same, man. You know, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Holy Bible, man. We're the children of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, the children of the Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of heaven and earth. All right. So it says again, he was the first governor But in the early 1500s, Ponce de Leon was a top military official in the colonial government of Hispaniola, where he helped crush a rebellion of the native Taíno people. So he helped the crushing and the pillaging and the rape, robbery, and murder of the so-called rebellion of the Taíno people, man. Because they called them being rebellious when it came to them coming and taking over their land. They were supposed to just bow down and allow this damn devil to do as he pleased, right? But again, man, it was all through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, for us transgressing the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, man, that he gave us in the wilderness, right? So again, man, the Puerto Ricans, majority of the Puerto Ricans understand that their history would go back to the Taíno Indians, man. But the Lord called them the tribe of Ephraim, right? Which would be the leader of the northern kingdom, man. The top tribe of the northern kingdom. All right. From there, I want to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 33. And it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah will press together." Israel ultimately representing the northern kingdom and Judah representing the southern kingdom. All right. Referring to that split that I mentioned, right? But ultimately the Lord have them, we're in captivity together, man. And merging those two sticks back together, man. Right? And it's Jeremiah 50 and 33. "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah will oppress together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. The Redeemer is strong." The Lord of hosts is his name, right? The Lord of Sabaoth. All right. Sabaoth meaning armies. All right. Hosts meaning armies as well, man. All right. "He shall authority plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans," right? Their place of commerce, their land of business, right? "Saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon and her princes and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed," man, right? They're going to be caught off guard, because we brought out Psalms 49 and 11 on how they inward thought is that their houses go continue forever, and that's why they name the lands after themselves after conquering them, or they set up monuments and statues, all right? Showing that showing their so quote unquote glory, all right? But their glory is coming to an end. All right. It's the book of Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. Little do they know. "For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare." Right. And the Lord also referred to nations as birds. Right. "So are the nations of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them," right? So is the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them, man. It's going to catch them off guard, man. And we see him falling. The signs are right in front of us, man. The prophecy is unfolding. All right. But ultimately, we can't take matters into our own hands, The Lord and the angels is going to do the reaping, That's why he has the wheat and the tares growing together, right? And this is Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8. "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shai, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy," right? He loved Israel, man. You know, he's a jealous power. And due to touching the apple of the Lord's eye, all right, your deceit, your deception, and rape, robbery, and murder throughout the four corners of the earth, all of it is coming back on his own head. All right, all we got to do is be patient and wait upon the Lord till he rises up to the prey, because he ultimately has, he got dibs first. You know, no servant is greater than his master. He took the beating first. He was crucified and had to bear his cross. All right, ultimately for us to be here today to do the work on the back end, you know, to usher him in, to usher in his glory, man. You know, the big as I told you so, you know, to fulfill, help usher in the kingdom, man. You know, our kingdom of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai. All right. So we see him falling. All right. We got to wait on to the Lord, man. And ultimately bringing out this scripture is because we can't take out matters in our own hands like the Nat Turners, you know, being carnal, you know, because we can very well persecute our own people. All right. You know, again, I made a comment on how, you got chocolate covered Edomites, man, you know, and vice versa. So a color is a distinction, but it's not everything. All right. So you don't want to be a crayon prophet. All right. This is Jeremiah 12:9, I believe. All right. Con. And it's Jeremiah 12:9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. Con. You know, a speckled bird got different spots, different shades, different colors of the same shade usually, you know. The birds round about are against her, right? The birds, the nations round about are against her. Come ye assemble, all the beasts of the field come to devour, you know. And ultimately, the Lord's heritage is of a speckled bird, man. Different shades of brown, copper, all right, different shades of ready, right? So ultimately, we can't take matters in our own hands because some of our people, all right, and some of the elect ultimately is going to look very well like the other nations, all right? And I'm going to end off with Matthew chapter 25 and verse 31. All right. Because ultimately the Lord and the angels go do the reaping. All right. But it's a beautiful thing to see these monuments and the lies of this damn devil is coming to an end. All right. Quick. And it's Matthew 25 and verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. You know. Ultimately, you did his will. You know, you fulfilled your end of the bargain on this side. You know, if you're of his righteous steed, man. If your name is written written in the book of life, right? But to the wicked. Let's jump to verse 41 to get to the point. That's what he's going to say to the wicked. Then shall he say also to them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels, right? You know, because you got the devil and his angels, and you got the angels of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you know, the angels of light, right? The left-hand side representing wickedness and the right-hand side representing righteousness, man. You know? So ultimately, the Lord and the angels go do the reaping and the dividing from those who are wicked and those who are just, man, who are righteous, you know? So all we got to do is preach the word and watch these prophecies unfold, man. Like you saw over there in Puerto Rico, all right, as they're ushering in so-called Spanish king, right? They turned down a Ponce de Leon statue, all right, of how he was a pillager of their people. All right, so the lies is coming back to hunt Esau, you know. It's coming back to bite him. All right, and ultimately he's falling like lightning, man, quick. You know, that judgment is coming quick. All right, as we have just war talks and just a uproars of the people. All right, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, man. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice, man. The people are mourning throughout the four corners of the earth. You know, and Shalom and Yahweh Ratazah, this lesson was edifying. Shalom, Ahabatah, and DTA.